Hey, ladies.
Hey.
How y'all doing? Woo!
Wow. Doing well.
Yes, the power. Power, 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 power. Right, Shauna? Don't cover up now. Is that your journal?
You know
it
it.
is your journal.
You know it is.
Got the power.
Yes. Dun, dun,
Yes,
dun,
I remember
dun.
that song. Love that
Yes.
song.
Love it. Love it.
The something in the
Yeah.
something machine.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, something.
Factory.
Somebody.
It was.
Oh, CC Music Factory? Is that?
CNC Music Factory.
CNC Music Factory. Yes.
Yeah.
Look at that. Look at that. See, now we have to put
Miss
that.
Nancy at home yelling at the screen.
You know she is. Get it straight. Get it right.
Nancy.
I like y'all know music and movies.
Right. Making sure. Yes. Oh my goodness. Do you know what today is? Do you know what today
is?
This is our season
final anniversary.
It's our
final anniversary.
Boom, boom.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Anniversary. Yes. Episode 69. Wow. The Power series never ends. No, I'm just kidding. Jeanette is like, you know what?
It's going to end.
It's going to end.
Power season is ending.
We're going to put a pin in it.
Yes. We got
Shauna, now that we are recording, please repeat what you said off camera.
I will let the heartbeats know and the people in the back. This power series, I am fulfilled with the word power. Ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Jeanette, for allowing me to dive in it, swim in it, sleep in it, hold on to it. I appreciate it. It was a great, great ride. I am ready to move on. Greater things.
I never thought she'd say that because our first season, now this is our season finale, friends and listeners and heartbeats, episode 69, Own Your Power and Step Into Your Greatness. Wanted to make sure I said that up front. But going back to season 1, as we typically do in the Heart of Chat fashion, we do a recap of the seasons prior, episodes we love, people we love, which we love all of you. And our first season, every other episode, Shauna was like, the power. How Jeanette is looking right now. That's how she was looking. I was just like,
she started with the power of black coffee.
Yes.
That was like the first one that kicked it
off. Let
me
go past that though, y'all.
I was trying to go back and look. I'm like, didn't know we had other episodes that had the word power. That was the only one.
I thought we did. We only had one.
It was because I was begging for like a season and a half to get there. And it took 3 seasons to get there.
Well, yeah, but you can thank Insecure for that. You can thank Insecure because
I love the creativity that we decided to go that route. I thought that was really creative and really neat. And I don't know if we're going to do it again, Heartbeats, or for our future seasons, but I thought that was really nice, keeping everything in a solid, almost like the encyclopedia, and just information, and it's together like that.
Yeah, that was really
the way it came together.
And it just flowed so well. I think the way we started the season was the power of, and we each took our words for the year, or the words for our year for 2021. And we put those, it was so easy because we had the power of everything. It was just really cool.
Yes. The power of surrender.
It lets you know how huge this topic is. Because of all the episodes we had, we literally had to break down everything. We could only speak on one episode for the truth. We could only speak on one episode for forgiveness. And because, it's so vast.
Yeah. Alignment. It was a lot of good stuff. I mean, just good content and the feedback. Thank you all. Just the feedback. Oh, yes. We've seen ourselves grow. We've seen our heartbeats grow, our following. We created the membership community. Oh, look at that. The power of membership. See, I got another title for you, Jeanette. Look at that.
The funny thing is, it was like anything else, like when you're getting ready to buy a car, or there's like this car that you want, or something that a pair of shoes you want, or handbag, you start seeing it everywhere, right? You're like, oh, why I see like 50 million red cars? I ain't never seen that many red cars before. And it's just confirmation, right? It's because you wasn't thinking about those things before, but now that you are, you're hyper aware of it. And I feel like that's kind of what happened with the power episodes when we started this season. I swear, every time I was in a grocery store, they put out a new magazine between Time Magazine and what was it? I think it's Real Simple. They had the power of something.
We were
Yes.
totally aligned with it. And that's why it didn't come out before, because it needed to coincide with the Heart of Chat.
Yes,
You're
for sure.
Right. A lot
Right.
of our stuff out before that stuff hit the market, and we saw the vision and we went for it.
Yeah,
we did.
Yeah, for me it was just confirmation. I know a lot of people struggle with that when they see something like, oh God, oh, maybe I'm not being original enough. Like we have been around for hundreds of thousands of years, and there is nothing new under the sun. And
that
if
is
you're
true.
stopping yourself from doing something because you feel like, oh, somebody else is doing it, or everybody else is doing it, but you're not doing it. And there's a special way that you're supposed to present that information and bring it to the world.
I used to feel like that. And when I started really focusing on the zone of genius, and like you said, nobody else can spin it like you. You can give 10 people the same assignment and everybody's going to come back with a different answer or way or process or the way they did it in their unique ways. So yeah, that's a good point. I have gotten to the point where I appreciate it more because it shows me that I'm aligned and I'm on the right path.
Yeah, you just keep seeing things that pop up. I remember being in the grocery store that day, and I said, "Oh, the power of joy." Time magazine. I remember
grab it. Every time you say it, I look at it because I have it.
Yeah, I know. I have my sticker right here, and I like try to buy them all up, And I just remember sending it to you, ladies. I'm like, "Look at this, the power of joy." Just more confirmation as far as what we're doing, this work that we're putting in, what we're sharing. I think back to that day, and I actually cut the magazine and like put a sticker on my on my vision board. I was like, yes, this is going to be the center of everything. Yes.
And I feel like after you even said that your word was joy, I started seeing the joy everywhere. Oh my goodness. That was Linda's word, not my word. Why I'm seeing it.
Linda's word was trending.
Oh my goodness. Guess what they needed? They needed some joy after
the
year prior that everyone
for sure. Yep.
So ladies, when we talk about own your power and step into your greatness, and how and why we were really intentional about how we release episodes about certain topics, and do y'all want to share a little bit more into just kind of like how everything kind of ties in together and just the overall hope that we have for our listeners as they go through these episodes and go back and treat it like a workshop. Treat it like a workshop and go through each episode and apply it and build on it. But like, what are your thoughts or commentary around that?
I really love that question because it is, you treat it as a blueprint. And the first episode was owning your power. So people were like, "Ooh, what is that? What do you mean owning your power?" So you listen to the episodes, you read the show notes, you look at some of our posts. Maybe each of us have our listeners or family, friends, other people that kind of talk to us about what we're putting out there in the world. And then you look at the next episode, our words of the year, flowing with ease, surrendering, the power of joy. And like Jeanette said earlier, we intentionally ordered these episodes the way we did so that it could be like a workshop for you to listen to them over and over. You get good points out of it. You may listen or watch something a couple times, you may miss something. So treating it like that, I think we always encourage our heartbeats to join the conversation, take notes, watch us. Because me listening, I can be listening, but I could be doing something else. But me like sitting here actually watching, you're gonna get something different from watching.
Yeah, it kind of slows you down in a different way to make you really focus in versus like when you're just listening and walking around and moving about, sometimes you're not as intentional with actively listening to what's going on.
Yeah. And I love that, I love what you said about using it as a workshop. And we'll talk about this later about how it ties into a workshop that we put together. So Shauna, what about you? What are you thinking when you think about these episodes and how we started off?
I look at them as building blocks. to get to where we are today, our season finale. Own your power, owning your power. Own your power and step into your greatness.
Yes.
So I look at it as building blocks leading you to that. That's the end goal. That's where everybody wants to be at. You want to feel your best. You want to look your best. You want to give your best. You want to be around the best. You want to have the right people around you. You want a great life. You want to be able to make choices and decisions that you took the time to give yourself permission to, not having to be validated from outside of yourself. Because I feel like getting to your power is hard, but stepping into your greatness is like a whole different phenomenon for human experience. And it's like climbing up a ladder, not a ladder, climbing up a mountain and reaching the top, and the satisfaction that it feels to be on top. And now the hard part is now you have to learn to hold on to your greatness, and it's like your peace. And I feel like your peace is the foundation of getting to your greatness. Is holding on to your peace at all costs.
Yeah.
And we hope when you're listening that if you're listening and or watching, I mean, just, think about it, how and what relates to you. Pull out these nuggets. I think Jeanette said earlier, you were even in here pulling up a couple of episodes saying, oh, what am I going to talk about today? What sort of resonate? I think each of us maybe have a favorite episode or one that's like, oh, this really, we were talking to
I really
ourselves.
needed it at that time.
I needed it. I know I said that a couple of times, like, oh, y'all are talking to me tonight. Yeah. So.
I think one point we were like, is this like a brain dump? Like a live brain dump we just did? A virtual visual brain dump?
Yeah. And so I know, Shauna, you touched on a little bit, kind of like, what does owning your power really mean, right? What is your power? And it's uniquely different for each one of us. But for me, I guess thinking about owning your power, it's about, like you said, first is just knowing that everything you need, you have within yourself, right? To change your situation. But it starts with some of these things that we talked about, like connections, getting silent, knowing, like owning your own truth, and knowing what that is and standing firm in it, forgiveness and letting go, because there's work that has to be done for us to get to this point of really stepping fully into our power. And we might step into it in some areas of life. In some areas of life, we're still struggling to like get there with owning it fully. But there's certain things that come with it, as far as like giving ourselves permission to do things. We don't need someone else to give us permission because we know what we need. We don't need validation from other people. Some of us, yes, words of affirmation might be your love language, but if you are relying on someone else to validate you in order for you to move forward, you are gonna, at some point, you're gonna get stuck. Because it's gonna be a lapse where people are gonna be like, girl, just go do that. Like, why you keep talking about it? Or you're talking about it because maybe you just really don't want to do it. So for me, that's kind of the things that I think of when it comes to like owning your power. Leonard, what are some of the things that you think about?
Ooh, so I was looking at this, the power of asking, because sometimes I don't ask for stuff. I'm like, I'm gonna keep my mouth shut. Should I ask that? And I have a use case for that. The power of asking. Keep bringing these things up, and if you don't ask, you don't get. My father used to say that all the time. That's one of his many sayings. You don't ask, you don't get. So step in, and we covered that episode a few weeks back, and I really love that one because I felt like I said earlier, that was more like, ooh, we really talking about me in here. This one, oh girl, this is for you. That's you, girl. Yeah. So the power of asking is, everything that you said, and then you get to that point. It's not necessarily asking, getting permission per se, but it's like, okay, you know what you need, you know what you want. You're going to ask for it, knowing that you're going to get it. So getting past that point, I think is, definitely, that's like we always say, these episodes that we bring to you are things that we're working on, things that we're trying in our own lives, and maybe we've seen it, and then being able to plot that growth too. A lot of things that I was thinking about like 2-3 years ago, I wouldn't have asked for, I would definitely ask for now. Just building that piece. Like Shauna said, the building blocks to get to and get through your power and bring that forward.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ladies, how does you think it feels? And I'm sure we all have felt this, because I love what Jeanette brought up. You may feel like you're owning your power on some parts of your lives. You may feel like you have stepped into your greatness on some parts of your lives. And I know for the human experience, we want to have like the full harmony. Like we're looking for harmony. Because I mentioned this before, I don't think of it as balance anymore, because
Right.
I feel like something's being taken away from me. I got to give up something to gain something. So I've changed the term for myself to use harmony more, because I just want a harmonious balance. I said balance. I could put it there. I guess. Harmonious.
Oh, good.
Harmonious balance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want it to work in harmony. So whatever areas is in need for that particular day, because we have different needs, and that's the area that I want to focus on or fill up if the other area is doing great. So maybe I'm doing so great over here, but over here I need a little bit of TLC. So yeah, that's how I think of it in perspective in that way when it comes down to what you just said, Jeanette. I thought that was a great point.
Linda, there was something that you brought to us, to Shauna's point. It was on Marco Polo maybe a week or two ago. There was like a terminology that they were using now instead of like work-life balance. Do you remember what it was?
Yeah, it was work-life integration. Yes. Oh, love it. Work-life integration. Y'all, I think most of our heartbeats know, and you ladies know, I'm a huge like Today Show fan, and they had this segment that was, following the workforce and the changes in the workforce, and, asking for what you want. I think that's why I keep going back to that power of asking. But one of the things that came up, they're doing this Friday series about, work-life balance and, the Great Resignation and all these different things, and really crafting a life for yourself that is creative if you want it to be that way, or maybe you want to work a 9 to 5, but you want to be happy with it and have that harmonious lifestyle, like Shauna was saying. So it stopped me in my tracks when I heard this statement. It said the work-life integration. I was like, I really like that. And I think did I send you ladies the video? I might have sent it to you. This might have been when I was in Indiana, because I'm thinking I was somewhere where I could actually watch.
I think you emailed it to us.
Yeah, it was amazing. Just what they talked about. Shauna, why are you laughing?
Because they'll talk about emails.
Oh,
I probably have to check that one.
The power of email. No. But,
Shauna, she's like, if it was in a text, dang, I know I didn't miss that. Like email.
Yeah,
I missed that.
Like, I saw her face change. I saw her face change.
Better with text than I am with email. It's to the point now where people are like, I know you're really busy. I like to talk to you on the phone. Is it okay if I send you a text and then you can tell me? I'm like, that's like perfect. Send me a text, then I can tell you when we can get on the phone.
That's hilarious. Yeah, but it's I'll tag it in the show notes for this episode, but it was a really good segment. Just, not necessarily throwing away thing that you love, but it was kind of bringing that harmony. And yeah, you work, 9-10 hour days, but are you off on Fridays? Sort of those things, and to integrate into your life that you're not feeling like, ooh, I'm just out of pocket here and I can't have a say in how I walk in my work life. So that was super cool, but it required you to ask for it, because some companies are better than others at offering that type of flexibility. Others are kind of sitting back waiting for you to ask for it. And when these people that they interviewed asked for it, they were like, oh yeah, sure, you could do that. And a lot of people didn't know that was something they could ask for.
That's true, because everything is different now.
Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah. So I really, really enjoyed that. That segment was excellent, and I'll make sure to put it in the show notes, like I mentioned, so you guys can check it out for sure. Yes, Jeanette, are you talking?
I was.
I was.
Keeps yelling in the background.
Oh.
But I lean into Shauna's thought as well, and I do like the integration, work-life integration, but the finding harmony, right? And I think that kind of also ties into the integration piece of it, because everything is not always going to be perfect, right? And y'all know I talk about this all the time, and some seasons of your life is going to require your focus have a little more heavily on a certain thing. It's not to say that you let everything go to crap, But then when things are feeling off, you have to look at where am I putting my energy, and then realize that, oh, okay, I'm lacking in this area, and that's why I'm feeling tired or disconnected or a little anxiety or things like that, and figuring out what's missing. And I talked about this a little bit in the last episode, I believe, when we talked about the power of renewed energy and how like my creativity and spirituality are heavily connected to each other. And just once I recognized that, and I was like, oh, okay, so I need to spend a little bit more time over here. It's not to say that, my marriage doesn't need some extra attention or my kids don't need extra attention, but in order for me to pull all of those things up even higher, then I also need to take time and pull myself up higher in that area as well. So just recognizing those things in yourself. And I think that's a part of like owning your power, where we talk about everything you have lies within. You have all the answers. You just have to take time to like tap into your feelings and how you're feeling. I know, Shauna, you're really good with that. Like you meditate and like
inner self.
This was off. This is off.
It helps you. It helps you be able to pinpoint it instead of being confused and really not knowing. And I always, and you mentioned this a lot, Jeanette, I love when you're like, do I need a nap? Like, it's all about asking yourself questions. Am I hungry? I feel this way. Start with your basic needs and then go to the next tier. The next tier for me would be, what kind of day did I have? What kind of day did I envision? Was I able to meet my challenges? Excuse me, I got allergies. My throat's itchy right now.
No problem. One of the things that I was saying about the life coach I'm working with, she was like, you'll feel things in your body. Because she was asking me something and it was like a hard thing for me to answer. And I was like kind of cringing. And she was like, where do you feel that in right now? I was like, in my gut. And she was like, yeah. She said, and it's natural. She said, and when you notice that you have like issues in certain parts of your body, and there's a book for that, Linda, you can talk about that.
Oh yeah.
That we were introduced to. But she was like, when you're feeling things in certain parts of your body, it's a reason for that. It's your body naturally responds. And like outside of just like, oh, I'm intuitive and I feel it. No, sometimes you will physically feel it in your body, especially if you're not, I guess, listening to yourself and listening to your body. It'll just start getting worse and worse and worse. I remember that I was refusing to address a situation with someone, and I was waking up with chest pains at night because I just wasn't having a conversation. And it was like, and the doctors, they're so funny. Like you go to them, they do all the tests and they're like, so what's going on? Are you stressed at work? And they're like, because I ain't got no pill. When your primary care physician is just like, all your tests are perfectly fine. Maybe it's stress and anxiety. But yeah, that could be there.
In there.
That could be it.
Yeah, that book you were talking about, Jeanette, I think it's called Heal Your Life, and I have it. It's a pretty good book. It's something, I'm going to link it in the show notes, but it's Heal Your Life. And if you're having an ailment, if you're, anxiety, it gives you like steps to take to address it. And it's like a Bible, almost like a reference to
Jeanette, is that the same book, ladies, that not only will it give you what to do, it always
tells you why
why you're in that space.
It's good. It's in the book, one of my bookshelves in here, but it's actually really good.
It's on my list. I've been meaning to buy it, but it's really interesting. I just think like just to read it and how accurate it is, so
love that.
One of the other like core things with like owning your power and stepping into your greatness is how you love yourself. And we kind of talked about that in the Celebrate Yourself episode, and like different ways to show yourself love. I was reading an article and it was talking about that, and it was like, do you dress up just to dress up, to make, not for anybody else, just to feel good for yourself? And that's something that I try I'm gonna say try because it ain't consistent to do a little more often. What about y'all? What are some ways that either you notice that you either need to show yourself more love in that area, or you have started to show yourself more love, or that you've kind of always been consistent with? Like, Shauna, like,
Yeah.
girl, you are gorgeous.
You
Positive
are
affirmations to
Try to put
yourself.
love in everything
Gorgeous.
that I do all day. You're right.
Yeah.
That's me. That's me. And that's because this is like years of working. This is not overnight. You know what I mean? This is years of really, really working on my inner self. And it just all goes back to that, And for myself, I do a lot of, inner child work. And I hang out with my inner child daily. So like every hour, I feel like I'm always trying to figure out how to pour more love into myself, because we're always expending our energy.
Yeah.
Our energy is depleting from the time we open up our eyes, and you're on this roller coaster. So I got to a place like about 10 years ago that I was like, I gotta switch this around. I'm giving too much of myself to everybody and not enough to my own self. And it's hard work. It's really hard work. And I think we had the power of consistency also. That was one of my favorite ones. And experiencing it and knowing how great it is one thing, but staying consistent with it is a whole nother beast. And I just say, just never quit trying, just keep trying, or swap something out per day to try to implement it in there in some kind of way. And it will be like what we talked about in the book James Clear I'm reading.
Atomic Habits.
Compound itself to the point where I'm looking like, well, shoot, I think I'm giving myself love in every area. You know what I mean? Wow, I've been working hard on this.
That's good.
That is good. That's excellent. Yeah. I mean, I think for me, it's like, I know I have some things I need to work on. It's the, unplugging from the corporate stuff. It's a lot. I mean, meetings from sun up to sundown, but I do try to do that transition, especially when I am home, because I'm back in the office, quite a bit now. So when I am home, I try to make that transition to my couch. And if I'm just sitting there and just sit, don't do anything else. That to me is progress, because a lot of times I could be flying around here doing everything else, but you got to have that time. And for me, it's that, once a week, I try to, give myself a little facial, a little something, just self-care, self-love. I'm really big on that, especially, over the past few years, just trying to really pour that time into myself. So it does cause you to stop, because you have to make the time to do those things so that you feel good, that you look good, that you're making progress. I know other areas I could work, and I keep saying this to myself, and one day I'm going to get it. I can work 100 hours and I still won't be done. Like, even at the time of recording our podcast, sometimes we record in the evening, sometimes we do mornings on the weekends. And even if I worked all of that time, I would still not be done. So why, pour yourself into this and you're tired, just stop. And I say that to anybody that's listening. Yes, always. I got 3 or 4 more presentations I have to write. It's not going to get done. It's like 8:00 p.m. Like, really? Nah, that ain't happening.
That extra 30 minutes is going to do what? Like,
it's not going to do anything. Yeah. So it's just, just applying those principles, to your life is just so key, because you gotta save yourself. You gotta show yourself that love and that time. And for me, sometimes that's sitting on the couch.
But you've definitely inspired me to like do some sort of skincare routine, or just have the products on hand and available in my house to do something, and try some different things. So it's nice, like, you're like, oh, let me go do this. Like, I'm not probably nowhere near as consistent as you are, but it definitely did inspire me to like just do something to take better care of my skin and to think about those things a little more often. I know for me, like, where I lack in the showing myself love is setting boundaries. And I thought I had gotten better with it, but it just kind of shifted. I set boundaries over here, and then I kind of just loosened up over here. And it was like, no. That's not what you were supposed to do. So for me, that's one of the things for me is just setting boundaries and being clear about what those boundaries are. I'm sure talked about that in some other episodes. Being clear about it, because people can't respect your boundaries if you don't tell them what they are.
Mhm.
then
Mhm.
you know they're at a disadvantage, and now you mad at them, they frustrated with you, and it's like, but you wasn't clear. And so there's this girl on my job, like her favorite saying, she says it all the time, especially when it comes to like work stuff and like being better communicators. She says, clear is kind. When you're clear, then you're showing kindness to other people because you're allowing them to operate from a space of, you know, having all the information and having all the
Mhm.
cards. And, you know, instead of having them operate from a disadvantage and then you having some type of hurt feelings because you wasn't clear about what your expectations were. So
Like that.
I can definitely appreciate the clear is kind. And I'm trying to work on that for sure.
Yes. Good. Good.
No, I'm
Good.
great with
Yes.
my boundaries when it comes to in person. Where I struggle at is the online world. And
Mhm.
if somebody comes at you like sideways, of course you like block. But sometimes I get people that the relationship has changed online some kind of way, and they come at you a different way, and you're just like, what? This is online. Why are we,
Right.
sometimes I struggle, and I have to learn to use the block button a lot more.
Block, mute, snooze,
Mhm.
unfollow,
News. Yeah.
hide,
All those work.
whatever.
All the
Mhm.
options.
Yes.
Yes. A lot of options there.
And
Yeah.
sometimes you just don't have to. Like I think I said this before. Like my dad, I can remember when we had like
That's my
regular.
style. But it doesn't work sometimes.
Yeah.
You
Well, when we
already
have
know.
regular house phones, he's like, you ain't got to answer just because it's ringing.
Mm-hmm.
You do not have to answer it. And that's just what it is. You don't owe people your time. Outside of like my kids, I owe them a certain portion of my time, but I don't owe them all 24 hours of my day.
Mm-hmm.
Some mother needed to hear that. I don't know where that came from.
Yeah,
Some mother needed to
yes.
hear that.
Many.
Yes, that you
Yes.
do not owe your kids or your
No.
spouse all 24 hours of your day.
Mhm.
And speaking about all of this is the stuff that takes away from you reaching to your greatness, that takes away from you owning your power.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
How are you going to do all that if you're not okay to do it? You have to put your best feet forward. You need to invest that time into yourself. That's
Mhm.
ownership right there.
There it is.
That.
Well,
Mic drop. It's over.
We're done. Go home, wrap it up. But that was one of the things I had to like be talk through was like, why do you feel like you need to go start a diet? Why do you feel like you need to work out? And what it boiled down to was I just really was looking for ways to create space for myself. When I'm happy, I'm healthy. When I'm taking care of myself, I'm healthy. It's not because of this workout plan. And for some people, that is their happy space, right? Some people just are fitness fanatics and they love it.
Mm-hmm.
But if you just are looking for a reason to hold yourself accountable, like the diet itself isn't going to do it for you if you're not, setting boundaries for your own self and holding your own self accountable. You know what I'm saying? And you're just using that as like a crutch to mask what your real issues are. My issues was I wasn't creating space for myself. I wasn't coming up with a plan to cook more at home. Shauna, like you're very healthy, very fit and in shape, but you're not out here doing CrossFit and Pilates every day and, going on 5-mile runs and jogs.
Powers and food.
It's the little things that you do and the habits that you create that, have changed your life. And you can speak to it yourself because I don't speak.
It's funny you brought that up because Lorenzo used to be, my late husband he used to be so bad because he out here running 5Ks. He doing triathlons. He was a triathlete. He's doing those little chin-ups. He has the bar like one of the doors, and he got all the weights and all the things. And when he come home, he like, "Hi, baby, how you doing? I gotta get into my workout." Okay, and go in his room, get into his zone, do his thing. And I remember I was just sharing this with Cynthia the other day. I went 3 years without working out. All I did was focus on what I was eating because I knew that was the most important part of looking good and feeling good was the type of food that you was putting into your body. The workout is a plus. And I'll tell you, those 3 years, he was like, I can't believe you're not working out. I'm here, I'm sweating, I'm doing all the things, running around. Like, yeah, but look what you're eating while you're working out. Like, you're defeating the purpose. I'm going to focus on my eating regimen. And then when I combine some type of workout to it, then that's when the magic is really going to happen, because I have the foundation is in place.
Yeah, because you wasn't looking for your happiness in the weight loss.
No, I wanted a lifestyle.
You wanted a lifestyle. You were trying to nourish your body. The reason why Linda has been so committed to Island Beats is because it brought her joy, and it was fun for her, and it was setting and carving out time for her. It was self-care for her. Like, I don't know what your goals were when you started, Linda, or if it was just for fun, or if you like, you know what, I'm gonna do this because I want to lose weight. Like, you know, when Shauna presented it to us, it was just like, I was like,
it just caught on. I've been doing it for 2 years now. It's been fun. I've learned a lot. I had to get some rhythm. So it's like, okay, got it now.
I was like, dance and listen to some
Linda, it's evident in the first Heart of Chat reels. You got
yes, got that move.
I remember that leg.
17,000 views, didn't go down for nothing. So yes, that's right. Yes, man. It's been so fun. I've enjoyed it. You know, just the fitness journey, my own personal kind of fitness. Nobody's telling me what to do. I can be there. The music is great. Fire, pew pew. So yeah, that's just something that I like. I love.
Before you spend hundreds of dollars on some program, or you go out here trying to, you know, trash everything in your refrigerator, why don't you just try to drink water on a consistent basis? Because maybe some of y'all just need some water in your life. Like, hydrate yourself.
Look, here I go.
My water goes.
Strawberries to mine.
There you go. Yeah, like, and that was like a huge shift for me mentally. Because it was like, even like, so like, y'all know, like over the pandemic, I was healthy. And that was because I just was enjoying the process of cooking. I was enjoying my home and appreciating all that it had to offer. And I was like, I do like doing this. I do like cooking and eating these things. And your body tells you that. You ever drink water and you could feel it just like going through like your whole permeating your whole body. You're like, oh God, I needed that. Or eat some green vegetables and be like, oh, I need that green vegetable. Salad. I ain't never just looking for a salad, but when I eat it, my body be like, Heifer, we needed this. Why don't you give me this more?
I know, right?
Yeah.
You talking about you want energy? Put down the French fries and the potato chips and pick up some greens. I need that. Help me help you.
That's right. Yes, that is so.
That's reflections right there, baby.
Yeah. Let me tell you, I've been talking all to myself, and I ain't talking to nobody. Look, any of my friends that I've had conversations with about health and weight loss, I am not talking to y'all. I'm talking to myself. But you know, if you picking up something I'm putting down, then you hold on to that. You hold on to that.
Yeah.
But like I said, it all goes back to where we started this part of the conversation, was loving yourself. And how do you love yourself? If you're gonna love this body, we only get one.
Yeah.
And when it's gone, it's gone, and so are we. And so you have to really take care of yourself. It's something, and I don't know if we've talked about this before, but just the power of like your breath, of breathing and being able to take big inhales. And I didn't appreciate that or value that until I watched my parents really struggling over when they got COVID. And they were using the little breathing too, where you have to like breathe in and the little ball goes up, and it kind of helps them exercise their lungs. And I was like, dang, we really take for granted just our ability to breathe. And I was on this call and they were talking about self-care. And a lot of the women were talking about because she was talking about how you just need to breathe. Like, you want to have some self-care, take some time to just take 5 minutes and take some deep breaths. And she was teaching us how to do it. And several of the women, which I'm glad spoke up, because I wasn't the only one feeling that way, was, I don't even know how to breathe properly. Like, there is a certain way to inhale and exhale that registers better in your body. And another woman said, I hold my breath a lot, and I do too. And because a lot of us were taught to hold our stomach in, and like you just walk around holding your stomach in and holding your breath, and like, you know, and it was funny. Like we were taught these things, and how like just something as simple as just breathe, relax.
Yeah.
take a
Mhm.
deep breath, how important that is, and just our everyday needs, like little stuff that we have in us
Yeah,
that we can use to help ourselves.
very true.
That's what I loved about yoga, Jeanette.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize I was holding my breath until I started taking yoga a couple years ago virtually with her name.
Kinga.
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 Baby,
Kinga,
Let me
congratulations,
tell you,
Kinga.
I was pregnant.
Got a
I was
baby.
going to sleep. I was asleep at
Yes,
the end of every
her
class.
class
She
was awesome.
just relax. She was like, "Is she okay?" I was like, "Yeah, she needed that."
So that's what I realized, that I hold my breath. I hold my breath when I'm thinking on something too hard,
Mm-hmm.
almost like a brace yourself.
Yeah.
What's going to happen? And I didn't recognize that until I started doing yoga a couple of years ago. She helped me recognize, because she would say, "What's on your mind right now?" And that's when I was able to make that connection.
Yeah.
Well, I do love that about yoga. That's the most important thing, is they teach you how to breathe.
Mm-hmm. Well, I struggled with that even in like public speaking. And I remember being like growing up, and my mom would like, "Stop mumbling your words." Because at the end of what I was saying, it would always like just trail off and mumble. It's because, and why I talk so fast is because I was holding my breath at the start of what I was going to say, and then I would say everything I had to say, and then I would run out of breath, and I had to just like let it go.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
And and it shows. So like this podcast has definitely helped me just in speaking more. It's helped me to like get rid of some of those habits as well.
Yeah. Tell you, we still have to do our video, ladies. Our first video. They're asking for it. Like, where are they now? Kind of thing. Like how it started and how it's going. Kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like that first video. Oh,
it's coming. We just needed to get this last episode for the season done.
Yes, so shout out to those who asked, because I'm gonna be hiding. But that first
will be
video
posted in our membership group. So
that's right. So yes, tag for the membership. Yes. Oh, I'm even though it's going in there, I'm still scared to look at it because I know exactly. I had a pen. The pen was like this long, and I'm writing. You can see it.
Well, look, part of stepping into your greatness, what Shauna does all the time, is reflecting on where you've been.
Yeah,
looking back.
And
where you've been, and being, my thing is gratitude, but reflecting, looking back, seeing how much you've grown. We don't even appreciate how much we've grown sometimes, and how much we know.
That's true.
It's crazy.
It's absolutely. Yeah, you're right. I think about everything from speaking to hairstyles. It turned to be, I had like 100,000 hair colors, hairstyles.
That red was fire. That blonde.
Yeah. It grew out so
I'm glad that was during photo shoot time too.
Yeah, it grew out so fast. I got it on the tips now. I just got it in July. What is it, April? And it's like almost gone. Crazy. It grew too fast. Yeah, it was fun. Yeah. So yeah, growth. As our dear friend on Insecure. Growth.
Yes. So real quick, before we give some final thoughts on everything, because of this power episode, we have really realized that this is a real big piece of our message, and living the life you desire is owning your power and stepping into your greatness. And so we created a workshop for not only our membership heartbeats, but for all of our heartbeats who are our listeners, to be able to join us so that we can have this conversation a little more in depth with you, work with you through some things specifically. And so we have a workshop coming up on April the 30th. You can get your tickets online on our website, theheartofchat.com, and just continue the conversation, continue to do the work, because what we don't want to do is that you just listen to this and you forget about it, right? We want you to do the work and take action, Shauna. You know that.
Well, take action, baby.
Yeah, and it's a journey. It's going to take time. There's some things that you're going to be like, "Oh, girl, I'm so good at celebrating myself," but you still haven't forgiven somebody, so you might need to work in that area. You know,
you're right. You're right. And the two words that we all grew up with, and it hurts. It hurts so bad. Growing pains.
Oh, yeah.
When you heard that so much growing up, you're like, what? Growing pains. That's what it is. But it's necessary in order to get the gifts that life can give you. You have to do certain work to get it.
That's true.
Worth it. It's worth it.
Yeah. And
Yes.
the
Yes.
power of your truth is not only just accepting like your greatness, but also accepting that I'm flawed and that I'm not perfect and I do need to work on myself. And it's not always other people sometimes. Like, yeah, people have their own stuff with them too. And they're human. And but that you also are human. And this friend of mine said this to me today. His dad was telling him, like, you can keep complaining about this thing and that about this person's imperfections. He said, but they can do the same thing about you. They can complain about your imperfections. He was like, I don't want to hear that. I just want to complain about them. Let me complain, and you complain with me. But I get that, right? So just like we want people to accept that we're human. When we make mistakes, we have to also accept that about other people, even if it's someone that you just absolutely don't care about. They have a story, and we have to learn how to respect it, and work on ourselves. Focus
That's
on
right.
yourself.
Focus should be on yourself always. You matter.
Yeah,
it's you.
Right.
It's your world. It's what you're creating.
What did you tell us on Marco Polo, Shauna? Everybody is not projecting onto you.
Right.
It's just your own reflection.
That's right. That's right.
Did I say that?
Yes, ma'am. You did. Shauna, let me get that mirror. Nope, that's you. That's you. That's you. That's all
That's
you.
right.
That's all you.
Boom, 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 boom.
Hilarious.
Right.
I love it. I love it. I love
Yes.
this. I love our whole season. It's just been outstanding. This is an outstanding season. My favorite.
I learned a lot and I've grown a lot.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. I love it. Yep. Own your power. Step into your greatness. Heartbeats. Ladies and gentlemen, amazing finale. Season 3. Wow.
Can't believe it. We're about to be in season 4, y'all.
You have to be in season 4?
We are almost at 4,000 downloads. And I remember us celebrating 500.
Yes.
Why we have not celebrated ourselves since 500, I don't know.
Oh, we got to do something about that.
Yeah. So 4,000 is coming up upon us quickly. And episode 100 isn't that far away either. So I'm just excited about the future.
We're getting close. 100 episodes. Yeah, we're gonna have to do something big for that. So y'all stay tuned. We will keep y'all posted.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's gonna be super fun. This is episode 69. So got 31 more to go.
Yeah. So if you want to help us reach more people, please make sure that you not just like and follow us on like all the podcast streaming apps, that you leave comments and reviews and ratings. Like that really helps make us more visible so that we can see more. Doesn't cost you anything to just, give us some stars and give us a little I love this episode. I love this episode. This episode was great. Thank you, ladies.
Yes. Thank you.
Leave a rating and a review. It just really helps us get this message out to more women who really need, to hear it from people that look like them, sound like them, is the same age as them, have been through it like they have. So y'all have any other final words or things that y'all want to share before Shauna takes us out? This
was amazing. Thank you, ladies. Really, really great. Yes. Shauna, so let's tell everybody where they can find us.
Where everybody can find us. I don't know why y'all ask me this every week. Y'all can find us all over the world on every platform known to man. Y'all already know that. The Heart Attack is everywhere. Come back next season, y'all, because it's going to be fuego, baby. Come back.
Yes, come back.
Yes.
Bye,
thank you, ladies. This was wonderful.
Yes. Catch y'all on the DMs.
Yes.